Alicia, and tonight I'm very excited to be chatting to a very exciting emerging band. This band actually have been named Astonishing by Nick Cave himself. They have a new single out right now and a debut EP on the way. So I am joined by the frontman to tell us a lot more about all of that, Mr. Paul Shine of Dead Writers. Hello.
Hello, Alex. Hello, everyone. How are you?
Oh, good. Thank you. How are you, most importantly? A musician in a crazy time and a crazy couple of years. So how have you been getting on?
Yeah, I've been surviving it. Really, it's been in some ways it's been a very productive time because we've had quite a lot of time in our hands to well, to record and to produce our next material and everything. So no distractions from the outer world. Obviously, it's been difficult in other ways. We've been missing playing shows and everything else. So and obviously the lack of work and just how everything is a little bit upside down at the moment. But yeah, I think that all in all, I've been quite all right.
Yeah, no, that's good to hear. That is really good to hear. I want to start on a major positive because let's just talk about the Nick Cave astonishing comment. How on earth does something that cool come to be? Talk us through it.
Yeah, that was a really good day. It was a beautiful surprise. We submitted a song, a video actually of one of Nick Cave's songs. Are You the One That I've Been Waiting For?
Yeah.
Which was, he sort of opened a bit of a competition, or just it was like a call out for fans all over the world to submit covers of his songs, and there would be a selection, and then some of them would be featured on his YouTube channel called The Batsuit TV. So we were very bored of not doing any shows, and we recorded this song and filmed it in my room in the middle of lockdown. So everything like really super lo-fi and with very little means. And then we submitted it. I did a solo one myself as well, Push the Sky Away, just myself on the piano. And it got selected, and I think that Nick Cave must have watched it and he really liked it, and then he wrote about the whole competition on his website and mentioned us, and he thought that our performance was astonishing indeed. So it was a great honor because I'm personally a big fan, and it was just fantastic to receive the news that we were on Nick Cave's YouTube channel. So it was great. Yeah.
That is amazing. What an amazing little achievement, and it's so great that you get to share that everywhere. I can see the connection and why Nick Cave might have happened to have vibed off you, because it's very, very similar, isn't it, in terms of music and stuff, because you actually, as a whole, I think your vibe is quite gothic, vintage. It's really like atmospheric. I love that kind of stuff. I really do dig it. So I can see why he connected with that kind of stuff. But for you, obviously, fronting this whole thing, how would you describe Dead Writers to someone who might be watching who hasn't had the opportunity to check you out just yet? And if that is the case, and anyone who's watching and you haven't checked out Dead Writers just yet, go and do it. You won't be disappointed.
This is obviously the most dreadful question for any musician in the world. How do you describe your own music? I think Dead Writers is a concept as a rock band that tries to sort of match the electricity and the intensity of rock and roll music with a certain sort of sense of drama in it. A lot of our songs deal with a lot of kind of like intense feelings of perhaps of a personal approach to lyric writing, very sort of introspective. We try to, I think, as the songwriter myself, I try to explore sort of like the raw emotions of the human heart and relationships in that kind of way. So there's a depth to it. So in terms of sound, yeah, it takes a lot from kind of music that then can be considered dark or, as you say, gothic. And then it's got that sort of literary kind of you know, influence as well. I studied literature, and I'm an avid reader myself. So so we pay a lot of attention to the lyrics, and we actually take influence from some of the poetry that I read and things like that. So
Yeah.
so I think that's what makes us a little bit different in that sense. It's supposed to be exciting. It's supposed to celebrate the things in life that sometimes make us hurt, but then make us grow too.
Mm. Yeah, I absolutely love that. And for someone who's just said that's the worst thing to have to do is explain your own music and your own sound, I think you did it pretty well. You know, I just think like for me, I've obviously been checking you out online. I've been watching the live footage I can see because I haven't actually seen you live in person myself. But you know, with the roses on stage and this like you say, this romance, this like it's similar to Jim Steinman for me with the apocalyptic romance of the epic proportion. I don't know if it's an influence of yours in any way, but I really picked up on that, you know. So when you're saying about your influences from reading, definitely Shakespearean, definitely vintage. I really love all of that, and I like that you include that in your music. You know, is that important to you?
Thank you. Yeah, I think it's yeah, it's seeing life as a journey, and noticing that some things, even though, you know, it's like seeing life in chapters, you know, and approaching it as a constant change. So when I take influences like, you know, like the dead rose, you know, the dry rose that we use in our shows, and kind of like that whole, you know, vintage thing that you speak of,
Yeah,
that's in a way is trying to say that everything is in change and everything is immortal at the same time, you know, that there can be beauty in things that are not anymore.
yeah,
um, so yeah, there's a tint of sadness in it, but it actually comes from a place of reconstruction, and yeah, I think that visually it's very much in tune with the kind of music that we play, and I think that's a pretty good explanation.
listen, it's so unique. I absolutely do love it. And you know, like you're saying about how you're an avid reader and stuff. Do you
Mm.
think? 'Cause I'm assuming you must have read from a young age, especially if you went on to study that. You know, do you think that it was a natural progression for you to go from being a reader and into the arts to then progress into music, or has music been in your life from the very beginning? You know, for you as a
Mm.
musician, what do you think?
No, music came first. I studied music. I was a natural musician since a very young age.
Yeah,
And I studied music.
yeah,
Then later on in life, I studied literature. I went to uni and I did that, but actually dropped out. And it was more for me. It was more the aesthetics of language that interests me rather than the possibility of becoming some kind of linguist or anything like that. You know, so that the possibilities of language and expression, which I enjoy as a reader.
yeah.
Um, but then I didn't really create sort of the concept of, or the concept for Dead Writers wasn't created directly from that. It sort of happened. I just wanted to, you know, I was in a few bands before,
Mhm.
and then I started with a bunch of songs that had a certain character to it, which is kind of like the beginning of what Dead Writers started to be. And then sort of like the whole literary influence kind of like you know, started seeping in,
Mm.
and and then it became a visual thing.
Yeah,
So it was nothing. It was not planned really. It just sort of came about very naturally.
oh,
Um,
nice. That's good.
yeah, and but I think that I think any songwriter can say that things happen like that a lot of the time. You write songs, and because you write about your own experiences,
Yeah.
then you end up writing about the way you see the world.
Mhm.
So I also see the world through the books I've read, and through the poetry that I've read, and through the films I've seen, and the people I've met, and the people I've been in love with, and the people I've fallen out with, and
All the things that surround you, and I love that, you know, because at least then it's authentic and true to who you are. And you know, at least then when you really are up there and you're performing these songs, you're performing these songs because they mean something to you, and you're not singing throwaway lyrics or anything like that. Everything has a meaning and a feel
yeah,
some point in
Yeah,
life, and I really, really like that.
yeah, that's very true. I think that I really appreciate that you say that, because that is actually one of the things that I'd like for it to come across, that what we do is very much about ourselves, is very much real. The words that we sing are about real events,
Yeah, yeah,
and that we mean it.
yes. Important, do you know what I mean? And you know, you just touched on you being a musician first, songwriting and everything. For anybody that doesn't know, of course, you are frontman, vocalist, you are the lyricist, you do a lot of the arrangements yourself, but also the band are involved in elements of that as well, aren't they? But also, one of the things I want to know about you is you are a beautiful piano player. Seriously, I have been watching some of your piano videos, any covers or anything like that, and you play so beautifully. And I know that recently you had a period of isolation, didn't you, where you were offering people the opportunity to request covers and stuff if they wanted to. And you know, with that, I just wondered, when it comes to your writing process and the creative process, does the piano come first for you? How does it all work? How do you create a song like Among Spirits, which we'll get talking about in a second?
Songs come from mysterious places and from different places every time. So it depends on when they catch you. I would lie if I said that I don't write on the piano a lot, because I actually do. I wrote Among Spirits on the piano, for instance, even though it's a song that only features a little bit of piano in
Yeah,
the middle, and some kind of like, yeah, and like little glimpses of it here and there, but it's not really a piano based song. Although I'll take the opportunity to say that I'm going to do a piano and vocals video version of it, and we're going to release it soon as well. So I hope that people like that. But I'm also a guitarist. I'm not a great guitarist, but I play guitar, let's say. And sometimes the song comes while I'm playing on the guitar, and sometimes songs come when I'm in the loo, and sometimes when I'm doing the dishes and things like that. I can't really anticipate it, but the piano is my main instrument, and a lot of the songs I've written, even though they haven't ended up being piano songs, in the end, they came from being constructed on the piano. So yeah, it's a big part of me. Yeah.
oh yeah, for sure. Beautiful instrument as well, isn't it? I do love a piano. I love saxophone as well.
Paul McCartney said that every piece of music that's ever been written is laid out on the keyboard of a piano.
Break it down and can play it on there and just sing. It's the sign of a good song if it sounds great. Same acoustically, isn't it? You know, a lot of bands will break something down acoustically to see how it works first and then make it what it is in the end, the finished product. So, you know, is that something that you guys do as a band as well?
I agree. Yes. Yeah. Definitely. When we work together, we, I usually bring the original structure, or like sort of like the blueprint for the song. Sometimes more advanced, sometimes less. But generally, there's a first structure that is pretty much laid out there, and then we just work on the arrangement. I tend to come in with ideas for everyone, like kind of like the bass should be doing this, and the guitar should be doing that, and the drum should be doing that, and then we just discuss all the ideas and see if it works.
Yeah.
Sometimes my ideas don't necessarily work as good as another members, and then in that sense you have to be open-minded and go with the best idea,
Yeah.
not necessarily your idea, but or the first idea, but the best idea.
Yeah, of course. Well, let's talk about the song. Your new single is called Among Spirits. It's such a beautiful and unique track, right? When I heard it, I was so excited to play it on the show. I was really, really thankful that you sent it to me. And yeah, I've been playing it a lot, right? I can't get away with playing it every week. I would if I could, but I've been playing it a lot on the show. And yeah, I just want to talk to you about the song. But first of all, of course, it's out now. So how do you feel the response has been from anyone who's heard it so far and maybe has got in touch? Because I was reading the comments on the video on YouTube and it's all positive. So how are you feeling?
I think that Among Spirits has been a very special song in the sense that it's been a step forward for us in terms of band sound definition and production. We've really taken a step forward. we worked very hard on it, and we learned a lot through the process, or throughout the process, and I think that shows. So we've had a lot of really positive, really like praising comments from people who perhaps knew us already and had heard, you know, the previous singles. Um, Also, new fans. I dislike the word fans a little bit. Let's say followers.
Yeah.
I dislike that too. But anyway, people who listen to our music, um, and yeah, and everything. Like everybody seems to agree that um, it sounds sort of different and more kind of like more together. I don't know, and we've had some really good reviews from press, and we've been on radio shows like yourself, um, and everybody, like even people that we have never met before that are, you know, kind of like musicians in their own right, and they're sort of ahead in the ahead of us in the game. Um, have taken the trouble to send a message to the band and say, hey, you know, I'm really enjoying the new material. So um, so we're very excited, and we're very happy that that this is happening, because it means that we're getting better, and that there's something that um, about Among Spirits that I think is putting across the character of the band in a more successful way. Um, so I'm very happy about that, of course.
You should be. 100% you should be. I know what you're saying about the reviews as well, because I read, which magazine is it? There's a London Music Mag that I saw from your press release who had said wonderful things about you as a band. You know,
Yeah.
saying that you were, well, I actually wrote this down. I'm going to have a look because I want to tell people what they said about you. Mesmerizing and hypnotic. These are the words that have been thrown around for Dead Writers, and I love that. I really, really do. But, you know, you're talking about the reaction. The reaction does seem pretty exciting for you guys. So it's cool that you're going to be putting out a different version of that song that people are receiving so well. So looking forward to that. But when you did release this track in particular, you know, were you hoping for that response, for people to think that you have evolved as a band potentially? You know, what were you hoping to, I guess, what were you hoping that fans would take away, I guess, from that particular single, that release?
Well, everything that you produce as an artist, every bit of your work that is new, that you show for the first time to your audience, you hope for it to land in a good place and to be accepted and to be enjoyed and to be celebrated. We did know sort of in advance, or, well, we didn't know because you can't know, but we had a feeling that Among Spirits was better than anything we'd done before, and that there was something special about it, special about the production, with Mark Tucker, who mixed the record, and the rest of the EP.
Yeah.
And we're very thankful for his help. So we kind of had a feeling that that it would be enjoyed in a different way, and that it would have it would probably enjoy a little bit more attention from people, because it was simply it just had a bit more substance and more character, and things were done better than we had before, and we feel the same about the rest of the EP. We've got 3 more songs. 2 of them are new, and the other one is the single prior to Among Spirits, She's All the Animals, but we've re-recorded it.
Okay.
It's a very celebrated song in our set, in our live show. And so we decided that we didn't particularly like the way we recorded it the last time. So we, I mean, we liked it, but you know, we could do it better. So we re-recorded some bits. And we have this whole this feeling about the whole record, that about the whole EP, that this is definitely the beginning of what Dead Writers is supposed to be, whereas before it felt a little bit more like baby steps.
Right.
I've learned as a songwriter, we've learned as artists, as performers, we've learned production, we've learned more about how to make a record that defines what we're all about.
Okay.
And I think that we have achieved it, or we are on the way to getting there.
This is so exciting, because I did mention, of course, in the intro that you have a forthcoming EP, and you know the video though for Among Spirits is filmed at, is it Grand Chapel Studios?
That's correct. Yeah, that's
What
a
an
studio that we
amazing
track
place.
most of it. It's a beautiful place indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and big shout out to the people there, Annalise and Tom and Mike, because they are wonderful human beings, and they were so supportive, and um, they really welcomed us into their studio in the best possible way, and we had a great few days recording and shooting the video. Plus the space and the sound is really something special. So, yep.
It looked like it was made for your band. Seriously.
I think so. I think it was good at a good setting for us. Yes.
I know, EP wise then, what can you tell us, if anything? I know these things sometimes can be tricky to talk about if you haven't actually said anything about release dates or anything like that. But, what can people expect maybe from this EP?
There's definitely a few surprises coming, but since nobody's ever heard the songs, it's all very new. So I think that it's a pretty good thing to, I think, announce that there's new material coming in the next few months, and that it's going to be exciting, and that everybody's welcome to join us.
Well, Paul, thank you so much for chatting. It really has been a pleasure and awesome to meet you as well. Best of luck with everything that Dead Writers has going on right now. Very busy time for you, and that's so exciting. So yes, thank you so much for chatting. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Alex. It's really been fantastic. Lovely to meet you virtually. I hope to meet you in person one day. Really looking forward to that. And thank you for the opportunity. It's really fantastic. It's a really good start to the year. This is the first interview that we did. So yeah, it's been a delightful thing to do on a Monday morning. Sorry, Monday morning. Where am I? Monday evening. Bye for now.